So today on the Escape Key project we're making a font and creating a font and manipulating it. This is something that I was been making using a program called Calligrapher. It's a free browser based piece of software or app that converts a template that you create into a font. So this is a font that I'm using to hide hints. So you'd basically join up the dots to find the hints so the hints can be shown on the same page as a puzzle. But it takes an awful lot of work, and what I wanted for this font that I'm going to manipulate is something very digital and 70s and very familiar and green. So I went to DaFont, D-A-F-O-N-T, and it's very good. It's really simple. It's got a huge range of digital fonts, and they're all categorized really successfully. It's worth putting in words that you want, and here I am selecting 100% free, donationware and shareware, and then you have to go back and take off free for personal use because I'm going to use this effectively commercially. So I submit it, and then it lowers the range but actually shows you a whole range of fonts, and I wanted something LCD, so something you would see on a computer. And straight away I was captured and captivated by Arcade, which is this lovely font, and I thought that the lines would be good for manipulating in some way because I wanted to disguise the writing. And when I downloaded it, there were actually 3 variants of this font. So there's interlaced, which is made of the lines, and then you've got normal, which is blocky, and then rounded, so a far more comfortable and familiar font. And I'm using Adobe Illustrator to make this little puzzle. So I thought I'd show you little tips and tricks for using this. Now I've got 2 letters back to back, and I've made one red so that I can see it really clearly and I can see if there's any overlap or not. But things can be quite hard to manipulate in Illustrator, so just thought I'd demonstrate. Over here you've got all the handlebars and the white boxes in the middle. So when I flip it, it's going to flip around that white dot. So at the moment it's flipping around the immediate middle. Changing it to bottom right flips it bottom right. Now this might seem really obvious for people who use Illustrator, but it's taken me ages. Took me ages to realise how it's being manipulated by that white dot. Now the other thing you can do is you can use these align tools. So this is going to align them right in the middle. Very useful for some things and shapes, but not for others. But I actually want to look at the different ways that I can align things. I can align things to the left, middle, right, top, in the middle, or in the bottom. And I'm going to use the bottom so that it's absolutely based at the bottom. And I can move this along so that it fits really comfortably. And then I can adapt this and change this colour to all green. Now when I select everything, you'll notice that the appearance box has got a question mark in it. I click on that and then choose the green that I want, and then it will blend all of these as green. It's got a question mark because there's more than one colour. Very important to recognise. So there's my B, and the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that into a group, because at the moment if I try and move that, it's going to come out of place again. So I need to put these together and call them a group. That's Command or Control G, and now when I move it around it'll actually be one element, so it keeps the alignment. And the great thing about this is that you can actually create the letters really successfully. Now here are the letters joined up. I'm scrolling down. You can probably recognise what they are, and you can see sometimes that they're not perfectly aligned. And the reason for that, and it's not a criticism of the font designer, but actually they weren't perfectly mirrored. So they are perfectly aligned on my computer, but they weren't perfectly aligned when they were designed. So there's a little, if you're looking really closely, or you can't see it by the naked eye, but when you really zoom in you can see that they're not perfectly aligned when they're mirrored like this. Next was to work out the layout. Now here is the alphabet just placed as it is, really easy to find and spot which letter's missing, and it's also, I would say, quite familiar as an alphabet. So I wanted to manipulate that so that it wasn't obviously an alphabet. So the first thing we can do is gate that by mixing up the order. Now at first, and I did test this out on some playtesters, some people can see the letters straight away. Other people found it quite hard to establish which letters there were. So I manipulated it some more. Some were upside down. I didn't change the back to front because it was already back to front. When I was happy with it, I mixed up the order and sent it off to be printed and put on a lanyard. The lanyard is going to be sitting on a card, which is important. The lanyard will appear not important. So here's the lanyard, and I'm quite pleased, in fact I'm delighted with how it came out. There's something really nice about a physical tactile prop. This is one that I obviously had to send out for. I couldn't manufacture this. They're not horrendously expensive. So they're about £1.50 each to have manufactured, and I'm really pleased with the design. Maybe we should change it some more, but that is C Collar, so a manipulated font, which I will make available for you. Let me know in the comments what you think you'd like to see in a future project, or if you'd like me to expand more on font design, font manipulation, or any of the tools that I'm using, either Illustrator, Cuttle, Shaper 3D, or any of the actual physical items I'm using.